This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Today we have got a good one in store as part of our John Madden Thanksgiving Celebration Series, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Green Bay Packers. No two NFL teams have played more often than the Bears and Packers, and we're underway from Lambeau. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
Had an up-and-down rookie season, but at times definitely showed exactly why he was so highly regarded coming out of college. Threw for 20 touchdowns as a rookie, but expects to take a massive leap with his new head coach, Ben Johnson, calling plays and designing the offense.
In motion, the tight end. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Right back to Swift again on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and making sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Looking to throw is Williams. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Here comes the Bears punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. 6'4" Jordan Love taking the field for the first time. The 2020 first-round pick from Utah State set to lead Green Bay.
Now in his third season as the guy in Green Bay, and he's thrown for at least 25 touchdowns in each of the last 2 years. He and his team believe they are due for a deep playoff run as long as he stays healthy and is piloting the offense.
Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Now 2nd and 9. Play fake. Here's Love. Completed out left to Dobbs. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. To throw now. Here's Love. He'll try to pick it up himself. And he's going to have the Packers first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Love now. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. Just a gain of a couple there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
A short throw to Musgrave. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
They go with Jacobs. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. So they give it up just on their side of midfield. And, yeah, I mean, a surprising decision there to go for that.
Must have a lot of confidence in his defense. Must feel like, hey, we're in great shape here because our defense can hold them because they're really outside of field goal range now, all right, the opposite team. So if you hold them here, you haven't given up any points. You may give up a punt and you're pinned down a little bit, but must have thought it was an okay spot to go for it and decided to be aggressive.
Throwing is Williams. He's got the connection to Moore. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that will bring up 2nd down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
They run out of the gun with Swift. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. To throw, Williams. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Parker, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. Following the interception, Love. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Montez Sweat just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Throwing. Love. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Now Love. In trouble, and he's taken down. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
On 4th down, the Packers call on Daniel Whelan to punt. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bears take over. Looking to put a drive together. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The back foot throw there is incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Williams. And that is incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Here comes the Bears punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Off the play fake, Love. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
Got his man. It's Bo Melton. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
First and 10 at the 21.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Switching things up, they'll throw it now with Jordan Love. And the Packers are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
And the Packers first down. First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
That's hauled in by Musgrave for the Packer touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Packers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
This is why a lot of play callers love play action in this spot. You just want to freeze the linebackers just for a second. Then you got a chance to get a quick pass into your tight end right behind them for a touchdown.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers.
Makes the score. Packers.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Chicago offense set to get started. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground with Swift. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Williams. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 29. A huge play there for Chicago. 44 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. 2nd and 1 now from the 21. As they've got it as we resume action. Swift going to try up the middle. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Well, I would have figured up to the 9-yard run on the previous play. Getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
To the air, Williams. Pass caught by Burden. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Williams. This will be caught inside the 10. And the Bears are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
They'll go play action here with Williams. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Working out of the gun, Williams. This will be caught at about the 5. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal.
A gain of 9 on the play. It's 3rd and goal.
Williams going to sneak it. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown.
Chicago.
The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Bears are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
And this is something right out of the Philadelphia playbook. They were successful running this with Jalen Hurts. But this is a copycat league, so if it works for them, everyone thinks it'll probably work for us. And here, it does.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. And he returns this to the 22. Jordan Love and the Packers heading back out there. He hasn't had a ball touch the ground yet. 8 of 8 throwing it. Perfect so far, including the touchdown on the last drive, you remember, as they begin 1st and 10 here. Looking to put a drive together. To pass. Here's Jordan Love. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Love completes it again to Dobbs. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
It's a gain of 8.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Throwing left side, and Watson has it. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 34-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Love. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Looking to put a drive together. Williams, following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. He's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Williams to the right side, and he's got more complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And it's 3rd down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. A short throw there, that's to Smythe, the tight end. First target, first catch, and a first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Now a carry for Swift. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down at 7. Once again, it's Swift. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
But they didn't get a whole lot out of that one but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. He'll try and do this himself, and he'll get nothing out of that one. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Like any team plan, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that is no good. Oh, he hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. But there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this. Well, that flag puts them on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, that was an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes like that.
Looking to throw is Williams. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Looking to throw. Williams. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Santos' kick is up and through, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though? When they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Love looking to throw it. A complete once again to Watson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. Know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Well, the pressure gets to Love, and he'll go down. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka showcasing the pass rush. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Two minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Love now. Looking deep here for Dobbs. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
8 yards on the pickup, brings up 2nd and 2 at the 36-yard line.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Throwing is Williams. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. To throw, Williams. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
So not just running into the punter, but roughing the punter.
And I'm struggling with this one. You know, you're watching it, partner. Is it more the first rather than the latter? This is a tough one. Almost feels like he felt like he had to call it on that play.
They'll look to throw again. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Brings up third down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment. Packer pressure, and down he goes. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Packers with a football here late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, they may try and work their way into field goal range and try to tie up this ball game. To throw now. Here's Love. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's second down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Two yards still to go. Third down now. Throwing. Love. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
They will throw again here with Jordan Love. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be second down.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6 at the 42-yard line.
Now Love. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Incomplete on the throwaway. Ruben Hippolyte on the coverage.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Working out of the gun. Love. That throw right side here going to be incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Final play of the half. Love. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hansen, good to be with you from the Orlando EA Sports Studios with an abridged halftime report. This one shaping up to be a tight one, as evidenced by the scoreboard. Both these teams playing it close to the vest in the first half. What will happen in the second half? Let's find out as we send it back to the stadium and our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Packer offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good for a Packers first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion forced there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
And that is incomplete.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
On now is the Packers punter, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Looking to put a drive together. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. 42 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
They'll run with the Rutgers man, Kyle Monungai. And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. From the gun, here's Williams. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Micah Parsons picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. We've still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
On for the field goal. A 53-yard attempt.
Santos' kick is up and through, and the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So it was a 3-point lead at halftime, and they double that with a field goal here.
And I think defensively, you've got to be okay with that because you've kept this game within a touchdown. Your hope is that you've inspired your offense to put a drive together, get in the end zone themselves, and hopefully get you the lead.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Love from the gun. He gets that one complete to Wicks. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now 1 yard to go on third down.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
It's a gain of 2.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This to Jacobs on the toss right. And he's got some space here. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A good effort there from Javon Dexter. He drops him behind the line.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
They will run the draw with Jacobs. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. To pass, here's Jordan Love. And this is going to be incomplete. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Onto the field now come the Bears. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he'll be taken down at the 18. 62 yards rushing for him now to this point.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Really good stop there by the end in this 4-3 defense.
And not just pass rushers anymore, are they? Those guys can use their hands, control the point of attack, shed those blockers, and go get those ball carriers.
Williams from the gun on 3rd down. Pass caught by Burden. And he will have the Bears first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
And the Bears first down. A gain of 9 yards. First down, Chicago.
Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with the bigger guy to try and use size? Got to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. We often give credit to the O-line there. Two tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Here's a handoff to Swift. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Here's Williams. They'll let this go for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They were maybe hoping for a little bit of a back shoulder fade there, and that's a play that's been in vogue the last few years in all aspects of football. But they couldn't get the hook up there.
Green Bay, Wisconsin is the spot. Third quarter inside Lambeau. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And that's all about recognition right there, because he's got to go from pass rush mode to pursuit mode, what defensive line coaches like to call retracing. And he's able to retreat and make the tackle for just a short gain.
Complete to Zacchaeus. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
A 2-yard gain.
Great job of tackling there to prevent the first down.
One of the toughest skills in football, open field tackling. A lot of times one-on-one against a shifty receiver. He got it done in a nice way that time.
On 4th down, here's Williams. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Here's Love. Finds his receiver, Watson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Catch made by Watson on the out route. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
That's good for a Packers first down. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things, and they've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
Play fake. Here's Love. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. And that will be incomplete.
Intended for Bo Melton.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
On now is the Packers punter, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And that'll kick and go out of bounds just outside the 15 at the 16-yard line. The Bears offense and running back DeAndre Swift headed back onto the field. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Rashawn Gary, the man to bring him down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Looking to throw is Williams. And that's out to the flat for Swift.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a 3rd and 6. Throwing is Williams. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
Here comes the Bears punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away.
Fair catch. Signaled for
the Packers offense and quarterback Jordan Love heading back out onto the field. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. Love. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Love looking to throw it. And this one is incomplete.
Well, I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a 1-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
On now is the Packers punter, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taken in at the 22. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Chicago offense set to get started. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
at the 27-yard line.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll fake the give, now Williams. And just not enough on the throw there, down around his feet and incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Throwing. Love. That's complete to Wicks. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Play action this time with Love. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Jervon Dexter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
To throw now. Here's Love. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
A throw out wide going to be incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
On now is the Packers punter as he's on to kick it away. And that'll skip out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets his football out shy of the 30 to the 29. 101 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out. His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. On the handoff, this is Swift. And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And it's 3rd down.
3rd and 8. To throw, Williams. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A gain of 12 yards. And the Bears first down.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Pass to the right side, caught by Burden. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 25-yard line.
He'll keep it himself. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
From the gun, here's Swift. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They'll run Manungai. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. They'll try and run here with Swift. But he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6.
5-yard gain.
Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down. Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Now it's Swift. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. DeAndre Swift, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Bears will add to their 4th quarter lead.
And that right there is the definition of a statement drive. You're in the fourth quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101, check that box.
The Bears will line up for the two-point conversion.
Williams going to throw for it. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more.
Packers 7.
And, of course, on the two-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. So here's Love and the Packers. Down by 2 touchdowns. 2 minutes, 17 seconds to go. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. Love now. To the left side, there's the tight end, Musgrave. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 32-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Grady Jarrett in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's 2nd down. Love looking to throw it. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that first down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
A big play needed, no doubt. 3rd and long. Now Love. That is caught. Rooted maneuver at the 35. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Well, defensively there, you want to play it a little safe and keep the action in front of you, but you definitely aren't looking to give up plays like that. They still got the cushion of a 2-score lead, but don't give them a freebie here in the final minute.
2 timeouts remaining, but time is of the essence. Down 2 scores. It's 1st and 10. Love. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Quick slant to Watson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 23. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Here's Love. A short throw to Musgrave. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Here comes 2nd down. To pass, here's Jordan Love. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the first quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Lambeau.